Hey everybody, welcome. I know it's been a minute since we've been back. We've been doing a lot. What we're going to do is kind of go over the changes that IFTTT has made. You know, what happened? What did it do? What does it mean to us? How does it affect what we've already built? And where and how we're going to go from here. So we're going to just turn this over to Leon without a whole bunch of stuff because he's the one that's been doing most of the research on it. And we'll go from there. And Leon, take over, bud. I'll just ask the questions when they come up.
Okay. Well, basically, we're asking the first question is what happened, and IFTTT has changed its mind in the fact that they want to have
Wait a minute, they lost their mind. Is that what you meant?
Well, yeah, something like that. They changed their mind in that everything would be free forever, and so they have decided that they want to charge for their services to us. In the past, they always said that everything was free, and they always charged the companies that wanted things done. Well, here's what I actually believe happened is that over the past few years, 5, 10, whatever, we started developing a lot of smart technology and smart homes, smart phones, smart everything. And they got into that market really heavily. And if you actually go on to IFTTT and look at all the things that are connected, probably 75, 80% of what IFTTT has in there now has to do with smart technology. So they've been heavily invested in that for a long time. And what I believe happened is that so many people were taking advantage of this free IFTTT to connect all their smart technology that it actually created a problem for them, and it probably overutilized their resources, and they need additional revenue to try and help with the company and keep it going. And that's my belief, is that their resources are becoming overloaded without the additional income, and so they need a way to kind of offset some of their cost, I believe, and kind of that's what happened. So they've actually decided to start charging for more than 3 custom apps, and what they're calling custom is ones that we make ourselves, which we'll get into that in just a little bit. But that's kind of what happened. Do you have a question over that, Patrick, in that regards?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know. Has everybody been to and looked at the IFTTT site to see what Leon is talking about? Give me a yes or a no.
Well, I can pull that up if we want to look at it, but
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask if everybody's been there. Yep, many people have not. So yeah, just pull that up so they give them a reference point.
okay. See if people can see my screen now with the IFTT on it.
Rodolfo said, I got the $2 account. The $2.
Well, we'll get into that. Can they see the find the right plan?
Yep.
Okay. This is what IFTTT is doing, is the standard plan, which is 0 forever. You can create 3 custom applets is what they're really referring to. And then everything else, if they're already made applets, published applets, you can turn on as many of those as you want. The problem with those are they're not really any good ones there. The majority of them don't work or don't work in the way we need them to work. And so custom applets is really what we have to do. I've been trying to play with their applets, and they're just usually not useful. For example, on one of our custom applets, we have the link to whatever it is, plus the title, and the title as a tag, and they have none of that, okay? So it becomes almost useless to use that particular published app when you don't get the things that you need in there. And so that's what we're looking at, is most of the published apps just don't cover the basis, or they don't even work. I've been trying to get some of them to work and they just don't work. So you're really stuck with being able to use the custom apps, and we're stuck with 3. So if in order to avoid that, IFTTT has decided to start charging, and their basic smallest plan they have is $1.99 per month. And what that, I'm just going to call it $2 instead of saying $1.99 all the time. But their $2 plan basically is supposedly going to give you unlimited app creation, multiple applets with queries, supposedly faster execution, all that good stuff. I'll believe it when I see it. But the point is they're charging you at least $24 a year to get more services than what they are restricting us to now. So that's kind of the situation we're in. Let's go back to our questions for a minute. So what did it do to us? Basically, it's done nothing yet. That will come on October 8th, according to their recent emails in the past week or so. They finally let us know when the date is that they're going to start what they call archiving these custom applets. Now, what will happen is that they'll archive all but 3. And if you haven't taken any action, you have no idea what 3 are going to get saved. And so your entire network could become totally useless if you don't have any of the, what we call triggers left. Then your entire network is done and over with. And so basically, that's kind of what it did to us, or will do to us, becoming October the 8th, is we're going to effectively be shut down if we don't take some action. And one of the actions that they've given us is to do the $2 a month plan. Now, you have to understand that $2 a month plan is for every IFTTT account you actually have. And so if you have a 5-ring network, that's 5 IFTTT accounts. If you have multiple 5-ring networks, then you have multiple IFTTT accounts. And so that's going to become a bit of a problem as we go forward if you're wanting to pay for this stuff.
Everybody give me a 1 if you understand what Leon just said. Just give me a 1 if you understand it, right? I want to make sure everybody does. All right, thanks, Leon. It looks like everybody does understand the consequences of that.
Right. So if no action, you're basically going to end up being done. You're going to be toast. And so what it did is it's forcing us to make some changes in order to be able to continue. And we had more than one option. Most people don't want to pay really high prices. And so one of our options was Zapier, and that's really not a affordable or feasible option. We do have the other option of Integromat, but here's the problem is this happened in such a short period of time, we don't have adequate time to look everything through and actually work with it and try to get everything set up and then train people to be able to make these things. It would actually take months. And so we're limited on our time and what we can actually do. Plus, Integromat only has limited use. After a certain point, they start charging also. So what we did and what we've been working on is to try and set up a free system that would continue to be free. And so that's kind of where we're at, is we've actually moving forward, or let's talk about that account system for a minute. We talked about it is $2 times 12 months. In other words, $24 per year per IFTT account. If you have a 5-ring network, that's $120 a year. And if you do that for 10 years, that's like $1,200. How many 5-ring networks do you have? Well, if you want to continue them being free, we've come up with a plan and it is working. I'm actually been testing accounts for a little bit and I see no ill effect from what we're doing. We'll go ahead and give you the information here, but it's what we're doing is we're setting up multiple free IFTTT accounts, and then using the custom recipes that we've made that actually work great and make everything actually work. We do 3 for each account because that's what you're limited to, right? So we set up 3 recipes in each account, and then we set up another account and do 3 more recipes. And so that takes about 14 or so IFTT accounts, plus all the connections that we have to do and the setting up of the recipes in the different accounts. It's basically taking up more work for the people that make these things. So they're going to charge us a little more, okay? But going forward, all of our rings will be built on this new system. You will actually have 14 IFTT accounts in the new set of rings. So if you're ordering from this point forward, those rings will have 14 IFTT accounts, and they'll be free and continue to be free until IFTTT changes its mind again, if they do. Does that make sense, Patrick?
Makes sense to me. How about everybody else? 1 yes, 2 no.
2 no. What is it that doesn't make sense?
I said for me it makes sense, but I want to make sure everybody else gets it.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get you now.
Okay, so we have all 1 so far.
So basically, that's what we're doing is we're setting up that as we move forward, all of our rings will be built on this new system, and they will continue to be free. The second thing we're doing is we're going to give you guys another option to allow you to continue being free. We're setting up I don't know what you want to call it, Patrick, a conversion kit, sort of less. But basically, we're going to allow people to send in their old rings and have them build out the new IFTT accounts to be able to stay free for a small one-time fee. Okay, so that's what we're working on, is getting all of that set up for you guys to be able to go ahead and get your update and make your accounts continue to work for free by having multiple IFTT accounts. If you want to set them up yourself and you've got that much time around to do nothing but playing with IFTT accounts, feel free, but you've got to set up at least 14 on the new version and put 3 of the recipes in there for each one. So that's what we've actually done, is we're now able to give you an option that will continue to be free for a small one-time fee, and Patrick's going to have that in what, a day or so, ready on the order form.
I'm just waiting for the last final figures from the development team.
Right.
But I didn't want to put this off anymore because we're kind of running into deadlines, and
right.
For those of you that want to go pay the $10 a month or $20 a month that it's going to take, depending upon what it is you want to do. I wanted everybody to have time to be able to make those decisions and choices with what you bought. Our hands are tied. We can't do anything. If you have an old one you haven't used, it wouldn't matter, because even if you have one that you are using, you have to make the same choices on the old one, whether it's used or not. Yeah, you bought it and you have it, but we can't control what they're going to charge to continue to do that increase in the future. It's not up to us. They drop the anvil on our head. So I've got the developers working on what can be the least painful environment for us to play in to keep these things going, because if you don't do something, what you did have and what you did pay for isn't going to work. It's not up to us. So we're just, I love the idea of the free. And so when Leon brought that up and said, well, we could do 14 free accounts, I'm like, 14 times 3 is what, 42? So do the math, right? gets to be quite expensive if you wanted to continue to do all of these rings. If you have more, you have 5. So like you said, do the math. But our main concern is to see what we can do to preserve what you've done, what you've built, what's already into your marketing plan, what's already working, and not have to go through all the pain and effort of going to them and picking the right 3 and adding the other ones, and it's just a headache.
Right. And the one thing we have built into the IFTTT rings is something, or actually a couple things that nobody has ever done before, is that we actually have 4 triggers. And then on top of the 4 triggers, we take our IFTTT rings down 6 tiers. So basically, we're so far advanced from all the other rings out there that nobody can really compete with you when it comes to using the IFTTT system to make things work. It has a tremendous amount of power, tremendous amount of backlinks, and everybody that's using it usually ends up just loving it and can't believe they did things any other way. So that's what we're talking about. The triggers are basically a YouTube upload, a doc, a blogger post, and a Flickr post. And what do you think we ought to do about the Flickr post, Patrick?
No, I think we're working on something to help everybody out because it's a pain in the ass. So maybe show them what we're working on. It's not ready yet, but you could show them.
Well, this is our new Flickr poster that we're working on getting up building, and it will allow us to load the photo in here and put in our file name, title, description, and then of course take the private off. But we'll be able to upload straight to Flickr via the API, and it works smoothly. We still have some things to improve or iron out, and that's coming. But yeah, we're really close to having a Flickr poster, which will then give us 3 of the 4 triggers that we can do with software. So the ability to do what we're doing will continue on, and will continue on a free basis, but we just have to add a small one-time charge to get your accounts up to speed so that you can use these things.
So what is it going to do? You're going to be able to what? Upload images directly?
Directly to Flickr, yes. Let's see.
So it's just going to, we're building a loader.
Basically, yeah. And so you would select account, then you would load a photo, put in your title and information, and then you just hit upload. And it just takes a second or 2, and you'll have a link down here at the bottom that's published, and that's it. So you'll be able to go in and out of these, or basically into these accounts at will, all in one place. So it's going to be really simple to upload and post to Flickr here very soon. Does anybody have questions on the?
Another thing, can you make a PDF with instructions on how to change an old 1 ring setup into the new free system?
I just gave you the instructions. You set up multiple accounts and put 3 apps or 3 of your recipes on each account.
For 1 ring. Because under the 1 ring, how many accounts do they need to set up?
Well, it depends on if it's an old version or a new version. I can't really tell you that. The new version all takes 14 accounts. The old version, it's less, but I don't know the number.
Okay. I don't remember the old version, how many actual accounts it was, but it wasn't
Well,
quite that many.
the thing we changed is we went to 4 triggers. Before, we only had 1 trigger, which was your blogger trigger. And so we've multiplied the number of triggers, which multiplies the number of recipes or apps that we're using dramatically. And so the most that you would have to do would be 14 accounts and then set up the recipes in those accounts. So it would take you some time, even in a single ring, to get it done. If you're looking at the new version, that's 14. Mm-hmm. And that's, I mean, it doesn't There's nothing else we can really give you as far as information. You just have to go in and do it and grab the rest your old recipes and put them in 3 in each of the IFTTT accounts.
Right, by making all that would be like 14.
Yep, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of fun when you can do it. I don't know, it's not going to be that expensive really for a one ring setup, so you're not really looking at a big expense.
So CJ's asking, it's 14 accounts for each of the 5 rings. You bought a 5-ring system?
For a IFT, it's 14 IFTT accounts for each ring. So yes.
So if it's 5, it would be 70 accounts.
I don't have a calculator in front of me, but yeah, it's 14 for every ring that you have. So 14 times 5, yeah, it is, and that's why I'm saying we're going to have a very small fee, a one-time fee to take care of all that for everybody. It's really not going to be that expensive.
So do they get 14 new Gmail accounts along with that?
No.
What do they get?
They get 14 IFTTT accounts. And the recipes will already be on each of those accounts. So there's nothing they have to do from that point on. Once we got the conversion done, and they send the rings back to you, they will work in the same manner as they did before. You just go to your trigger and fire your trigger, and the rings will work just like before.
Right. What are the savings if we were to upgrade to $1.99 a month and have a 5-ring? Would I have to pay $1.99 for each ring if I upgraded to Pro?
Your Pro system is it's $2 a month, like we talked about, for every IFTTT account you have. So yes, you're paying $24 a year for every IFTTT ring that you have. That's what we talked about right here.
She came in late.
So $2 times 12 is 24, and you know, if you're using 5 rings, that's $120 a year for a 5-ring network. If you do that for 10 years, that's $1,200. So it depends on the number of 5-ring networks you have, but we're going to have a small one-time cost, and it will definitely be much, much cheaper than what you're looking at here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can at least shave off, $2 or $3 or $4, something like that.
Yeah.
After the conversion, will everything work exactly the same as it is now?
Yes, that's the ones I've been playing with are working the same. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, do you guys think, I'll still answer questions, but do you guys think that the automating the images to the Flickr would be helpful? Is that something that is helpful, or we're just wasting our time thinking that it would be a good little tool for us to have? But for anybody that's got the IFTTT network, it's going to be for free anyway.
Or as a bonus if they upgrade to the new system.
Correct.
So yeah, for that small one-time fee, you could be getting a Flickr poster. That sounds good. And yeah, we should have that tool, I'm thinking, within the next few weeks. It's hard to give an exact date at this time, but
okay.
It's working great so far.
All right. So, like I said, we wanted to just do something quick to get this out. So if you wanted to go there, check it out, do your own, pay their fees, figure out how to do it, based on how many accounts that you need to do, and spend hours doing it all yourself, that's fine. But we wanted to make sure that we let you know what was happening and what our options are for you, and go from there. Does anybody have any operational questions while Leon is here? What we've learned so far, we know that what he's been checking, once all this work is done and the connections are made from our developers, then everything is going to work just as it is right now. Is that correct, Leon?
Yes.
Okay. So if somebody wanted to do this on their own, how would they know exactly what, where, when, and how to connect what, where, when, and how?
They would have to log into their IFTT account and start looking at those recipes in there and copy them over into the other accounts.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, as I said before, it doesn't matter whether you bought them, had them, used them,
Or
they're
even if
sitting
there's
on the
somebody
shelf.
else.
Everything has to be upgraded. Everything has to be upgraded to be used. That's not something that we're imposing. I mean, we
No,
built
I
what we
mean,
built, and they're changing the rules on us. So,
exactly. You've got three options. You can give up your rings and just forget about them. You can pay them $24 a year for each IFTT account, or you can pay us a small one-time fee to get everything converted over so that it continues working as long as they will continue doing what they're saying they're going to do.
any other questions? What is the conversion fee? I said that it will be on the webpage tomorrow.
Yeah, the web page is not ready, guys. And once it is, like I said, the fees will be relatively small. They're not going to be huge fees. So it's a one-time fee for the conversion and you're done. You will have to send in the ring that you're wanting converted. You'll have to send that spreadsheet back in to them. And so that will then let them get logged into everything and basically get all the work done. And then they will send it back to you with the updates done.
You guys look up in the chat. I put the link for where you can go tomorrow. Mr. Boston asked me a question at 5:18. If you want to scroll, well, I don't know if you could see all that, but I did answer. I'll put it in the actual chat box for us here in a second. It's just going to be the regular ReikiStore.com, IFTTT update / IFTTT update, but I'll put it in the chat for us here in a second.
So nobody had comments on our Flickr poster?
No, I don't seem to care. Okay, coming right back at you here real quick. Give me a second. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go place this in the chat for everybody. Just let me know if you can see it when I do it. Just let me know if that shows up, please. Now everybody loves the Flickr poster. There you go. Okay. All right. So if you look in the chat, that's where whatever pricing we can work out with the developers will be. It'll be listed there tomorrow for everybody. and go from there. Anybody have any other functional questions? You know, your IFTTT's been working great. Connections with the blogger, the YouTube images, so forth. Everything is good. Can you schedule Flickr with the poster?
Not,
Schedule it? No.
no,
Now you can I think you can right now we can upload your images in a bulk, but I don't
well,
believe that
we don't have the bulk in there yet, but
it's on
that
the
is one of the
table,
things,
right?
right, that's one of the things we want to work on.
Right.
The bulk upload is not there, but right now you can upload into what's called your photo stream. And we don't have it where you can upload it into an album yet either. So those are the couple of things we've got to work on. But, you know, we've got the basis for it. It's all right here. We've just got to add a few little things into it. So that's what's going to take place over the next few weeks, and then we'll have it ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the bulk uploader would really be important.
Right, but
You know,
you don't want to bulk upload to a brand account, because that's going to drop into your blogger network, and you're going to be making a post for each one of those bulk uploads.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you would burn out your accounts if you did that on these rings.
Right. Well, when we get that ready, we'll be showing everybody. But
Right, right. But on any rings that are not IFTTT connect, I mean any Flickr accounts that are not IFTTT connected, you could certainly bulk upload with no problem. It's just the ones in your IFTTT rings.
well, once you set all your metadata up and you have all your images, and you want another place with another backlink to your images and your data, you know, bulk uploading them into your Flickr folder would probably be a pretty good idea.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, if you're doing a bunch of images, but right now we're still limited to just one upload per upload. You know, we're not able to do the bulk yet.
Okay. All right. Great. Thanks for showing up. We wanted just to give you this announcement, like I said, and I'll pop a recording of it into the IFTTT room as well when it pops out. So, any last questions? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure we're going to do a complete walkthrough on IFTTT, Burned, on how to do that. They kind of tell you what to do on there. My time is okay. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yep, thank you.
Bye-bye.